Best Irish music on irishradio.org with Jerry Byrne.
Irish Radio, I'm Jerry Byrne. I've been speaking since COVID hit to some of the great and the good of entertainment and performances and the arts and community. Now, I've got a true legend online this time, my next guest. A gentleman who has been fronting a group since, believe it or not, 1970. Household names, they've toured the world, and I'm delighted to welcome from the Dublin City Ramblers, Sean McGuinness. Sean, how are you?
I'm fine, Jerry, and you? How are you?
Not bad at all, not bad, Sean. Sean, listen, how did it all start with the Dublin City Ramblers?
Well, it started off, myself, my brother and another friend, Pat Cummins, we started a band in 1963 called the Jolly Tinkers, and we were a few years with that, then we changed the name to the Querfellas, and then in 1969 some of the lads wanted to go their own way, so we sat in Patsy, met two other chaps, Mick Brotty, who used to play with Johnny McAvoy in the 60s, and Kevin Geraghty, and we formed the Dublin City Ramblers. Mick was playing with Johnny as the Ramblers too, and then of course we're all from Dublin, so we said Dublin City Ramblers. That was it basically.
Right, I mean
that was how we started off.
You've had you've had astounding success. I mean, it's truly an incredible. I mean, you're the first people to have hits with iconic songs such as the Ferryman and the Rare Old Times.
Yeah, they were both written words by Pete St. John, and Pete wrote the Rare Old Times in '76, and we recorded it in '77. We met him on the. We were heading down to Waterville in Killarney, or in Kerry, sorry, and. We met him in Goth, and he was doing a show down there, and he wasn't really that much well known at the time, and he said, I have this song for you, and he sat in the bonnet of the car, and he read it out to us the Rare Old Time, so we said, absolutely. So he said, well, that's for yourselves, I think you'd be the best one to do it. So we recorded it, and it was a great hit. It was, still is, it's great to hear it being sung in Crow Park and anywhere, all over the place.
Indeed, absolutely huge huge song. It really was, and
yeah, huge.
And then I mean, you also had a lot of other successes. I mean, the Ferryman was also huge.
The Ferryman, people, yeah, he wrote that in 1983, I think, and he recorded it around 84, 85, and that was a huge. That was number 2 on the Irish charts, I think. Yeah. And it just had an amazing way with words. All the songs tell a story, and that was true. That was a true song as well about the last guy on the ferries and wondering what the future would hold for himself and his wife. And then only there last year, the year before, I think, the old ferry came back on, and it was all refurnished and replenished, and there was a launch of it, literally a launch of the old ferry again, and so it's kind of it's up and running again now.
Absolutely,
so it's great to hear that,
Indeed it is. But the thing, Sean, is you've kept going. I mean, you had all those iconic songs. I mean, another one which is huge, of course, is songs such as the Punch and Judy Man.
Oh yeah, that was great. That was given to us by Ray Tracy, the footballer, got me good when he passed away a couple of years ago, about 6 years ago, and we had a session in the Embankment in Tara, and Ray was singing it, and he said, "Geez, lads, that song will suit you." It was written by a chap called John Connolly from England. Ray played for Ireland. He was the footballer who played for Ireland. And he got it off John Connolly in the session one night. He gave it to us. And we had the Billy Barry kids on it. They're probably all grandmothers now themselves. But that was a big hit. It was great for getting the crowd involved.
Yes.
So smashing songs. And then you had the Oil of Innisfree and Right All Right, all those songs.
Indeed, yes, Right All Right. Remember that it was just you've had so many iconic songs, and also, I mean, you had a Home and Away album which had some brilliant tracks featured on it.
That's right, myself, Pat Sweeney, the Shea Cabinet album. That was a great album too. Paddy Sweeney was a great, fantastic voice. One of the best ballad singers ever to know Ireland. But that went on for a good while now, yeah. And that album did very, 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 very well. A great selection of songs on.
There is absolutely fantastic, and you also had the ones about the Irish football team featured on it as well, and the boys in green, and also
the boys in green, yeah,
which was huge back
it's amazing how often that cropped up, Jerry. Yeah, I think I was reading in the ears here there a couple of weeks ago, and I went back to it was 1990, and it just showed the Today Show we were. And all the proceeds were donated to concern. We were all on it in our Eamon Cochran and all the gang ourselves, and so that was a great little face on.
Indeed. I mean, other songs that you've had back at the marathon song, which I think was back. Was it at the time that around the start of the Dublin Marathon?
That's right. I already wrote that. Delvin was a TV presenter here in Ireland. He read the news and everything. And he was a famous, not Ireland, right? And he gave us that.
Indeed.
And that was at the start of the marathon when he came out first. And it was played off the air.
Yes. Absolutely huge, and you've recorded also all the other, all the other great old favourites, the Crack and the Porter Black, and some fantastic material. The thing about it is that you continue performing right through. I mean, it's hard to believe you're performing for all those years, and you were actually just before COVID struck, you were touring in the USA.
That's right, yeah, so we're celebrating our 50th anniversary this year, yeah. So we have to do it next year instead, 50 and a half or something, But just before the COVID hit, we were over in our normal, we normally tour America in March and September, and then in the summer months we do all the big festivals as well. But we were actually over there just after finishing off half the tour up around the New York, Philadelphia area, and then we were down to Florida. We had 10 gigs in Florida, and over 15 days. And just as we arrived in Florida, we got word from Ray Tracy, actually, who was speaking about there, his daughter, Lisa, who's a great girl. I've been with her about 40 odd years now, doing all our travel details with her. And she rang us and said, "You better get home." We weren't supposed to go home for another week. And she said, "Sean, you better get home now. There's a thing called COVID-19 coming in." We hadn't heard anything about it. And we're sitting at a pool in Florida, 90 degrees, after having our lunch and going to chill out and have a swim. And I said, "What's it like in Dublin?" She said, "It's raining." I said, "We're not going home." She had to trust me. So anyway, we had to go to the airport and cancel everything else. And all the gigs were cancelled. We got paid for them and all, fair play to the festival, because they're all sponsored by the big breweries and everything. So we had to come home. And if we hadn't got home that night, Jerry, we could be still out there. We got the last flight out of Orlando around the 10th of March, I think it was, or 12th of March, I think it was. Yeah.
Wow!
And that was the last gig. That was the last gig we did. Yeah.
Wow! That was a close call there, Sean.
It certainly was. Yeah, yeah. And we headed for the airport, and we said, "As we're depressed, sitting at a pool of Florida, 90 degrees, and we told to go home to the rain." But we got to the airport anyway, and she rang me again, Lisa. And she said, just about we were going to take a flight on the Thursday via Boston and then direct home to Ireland. But we didn't anyway. And she said, just as well, she said, that's just being cancelled as well. So we got the last flight on the chat.
Wow, that is a close call there.
Call, yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed, that's truly incredible. But you've one thing you've done, Sean. I mean, since since COVID struck, you've been doing Facebook Live and getting an incredible reaction from all around the world.
Yeah, I started that when I got home in March. We were home on the 11th, and I think it was the 11th. And I was just, I was sitting here on my own, and I lived with myself. And I said, maybe I'd sing a few songs, try a few songs. So I rang Jim McQuillan and my nephew as well, and all the people who know about this technical stuff, and John Ryan, our manager over in America. He manages the American gigs, and we got it together anyway. So I clicked on anyway, and just to tell you a funny story about it, the very first night I did it, I hadn't got a laptop. My laptop, I didn't know where it was, and so I did it on my phone. But I didn't realise I had the phone turned away from me, and I sang. After 3 songs, the phone started ringing, and so I sang for an hour anyway. And when I realised after, I'd be singing to myself for the whole hour. I hadn't got the phone set right.
Right.
So I got it right from the second night. And I was doing it for 7 nights a week for about nearly 3 months. And then I cut it down to 5 and then 4 because, I didn't want to be kind of giving people, doing too much that might be boring them or something. But I was enjoying it more than they were. And I started getting contacts from America, Canada, Newfoundland, and the radio station Newfoundland actually picked it up, and they started playing our CDs again. We did a big tour over there years ago.
Wow.
And people from Europe and England, all over England. And it was amazing, incredible, the people who came on there, and I didn't realise, I hadn't heard from a lot of them for quite a while, but it's an amazing thing. It works out great, and I love it,
Indeed. It was absolutely brilliant. If anybody wants to see it, it's the Dublin City Ramblers fan page. And that's where it can be got. And it is. I must say, you've lost none of the magic of back in the day. It may be sort of in your sitting room or wherever, but it's certainly there's a great atmosphere.
Yeah, it is. Thanks. I mean, I have it in the kitchen. Yeah, for the banners and stuff. I don't take them down there. I do it from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday now.
Right.
And it's just Dublin City Ramblers fan page and just click on live stream or something like that, yeah.
Indeed. Absolutely excellent.
Well, I do any requests. If people want requests, I'll do them. I always mention people who are looking in as well, So, but it's very enjoyable. It's very easy,
Indeed. You've over the years. I mean, since you started out in music, Sean, you've seen some huge changes in the whole music business, if you want to call it that.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, we started off back in 1970, and we started. We went over our first trip to America was in early 1970, and. But there's massive changes in the whole scene, over in America now, all the festivals. A lot of them have an awful lot of Celtic rock, and we're kind of one of the few left, a few authentic Irish ballad groups. So as a result, we get nearly all the festivals because they'll have all these bands. They're all great, with drums and bagpipes and uilleann pipes and the whole. But then they have the country and western, which is great. And but we're kind of one of the few bands. There's only ourselves, I think, and the Furies and the Wolf Tones. And but we headline an awful lot of the festivals because they still want to keep bringing the authentic people over, like the Clancy. Now, we be their modern day kind of Clancy stuff, type of stuff,
Yes,
so,
indeed.
and they like to keep the older music alive as well. And we get the great crowds for them. You'd be surprised at the amount of crowds we get. You think it'd be all the younger crowd, for the headbanging stuff kind of thing. But no, we get a great crowd over there. So we're invited back every year anyway for the last 20, 30 years.
That is fantastic.
So it's great.
That is absolutely fantastic. Indeed, as you say, there are very very few left of your sort of old style type of ballad groups, and certainly you're flying the flag well, and keeping those old classic gems alive, and they're songs really that let's be honest, Sean, they'll never die.
Well, I mean, you think of it, one of the most popular songs, seriously, and especially abroad, anywhere outside Ireland, but especially America. Two of the most popular are the Black Sabbath band in the world over. I mean, we were singing them in 1963, and they're still getting requested today.
Yes,
incredible. 57 years later.
Indeed, absolutely.
And they love them, and even now, one of the most requested songs we get are a couple of songs are the Ferryman and the Rare Old Times as well.
Yes,
and they're not written today or yesterday. So, but it is great to see it. And what I love too, Jerry, is an awful lot of the people in America, especially, they're all open air festivals. You have the weather, will be 80, 90 degrees, and they bring their families, and you get a lot of the young kids now listening and picking up the music, and it's great to see that at least it's going to be carried on, So I love that part too.
Yes, that's absolutely excellent, and it really is good to see, and I'm delighted for you, and delighted that you're still going, you're still keeping the flag flying. Listen, well done, Sean, on all that you've done, on all your success, on the many.
Thanks a million, Jerry. Appreciate that.
No, it's I must say, like to be that many years going, and to be celebrating the Dublin City Ramblers 50 years ago is just astounding success.
we never knew. We just got together and started doing a few gigs, and we never realised how long it was going to go on, you know. But and thanks to all our lads as well, to the lads Kevin Malloy and Phil McCaffrey, and all the lads Paddy Sweeney that were all down the years. We all had a great relationship. There was never any, anybody falling out. We had an odd little tip here and there, but it was always good fun. And I've asked the lads, I've met them time to time, and we said we wouldn't change it for the world. You know, it was great fun. You know,
absolutely excellent.
And we met so many lovely people out there. Oh, you know, we families anyway. I don't think there's a state which would go and drive through in America without being able to call on somebody for stuff. You know, so it's great. You know.
That is amazing, and one of the hardest things most singers say to me is that what they really miss the most is meeting the people.
Yeah, I love that. I love to just get mixed late after a gig or before a gig and have a chat. We made lots of friends that way. I mean, you really do, you know. We got to the stage where at one time there I was sending, I think it was two to America alone. I was sending 2 Christmas cards. You know?
Excellent.
And about 150 here or something, you know. But
wow.
that just shows that the close contact you have with people. Indeed. And they all become like family. And they're coming over to Ireland and ring us, and we meet up with them, and we meet them over there, you know. So it really is, it's a great family. It's like the family business, to be honest. I love it for that. I love the personal touch. Like, the gigs are great, and they're incidental, but the sessions after are the best of all, you know. Great.
Indeed, absolutely excellent. Sean, listen, thanks a million for joining me, and listen, I wish yourself and your family all the very, very best, and stay safe and stay well in the times we have.
Jerry, I really appreciate you calling me, having me on there. It's great to talk to you again. It's been a while, but you stay safe, and all the listeners out there, and all the places in England who have us. Thanks a million for everything and for supporting us. Thanks a million for giving us 50 years, and more important, for keeping us there, you know. It's brilliant, and we're looking forward to the next 50.